Guys, what's up? So we're back here today. So today we're going to do a little bit of a different type of video. I'm going to kind of show you my own personal car and what it's like after 2 years of ownership. So I've had this car for about 2 years. It's a 2015 C-Class. And we're just going to go over how it's been, how it's treated me. Now this is a C300, so it's a 2-liter turbo model. I believe it has a 7-speed automatic transmission. It's not dual clutch. And yeah, I've been through a lot with this car over the past 2 years. It's a great car. I really do love it, especially when it comes to aesthetic sides of it. And yeah, it's been a heck of a ride because I've had an engine blow on this thing. I've done some stuff to it, and it's definitely been the most expensive car I've ever had in terms of maintenance, because I've came from a lot of Japanese cars and American cars, and this was my first German car. So I've done some stuff to this one. I've done a lowering spring, some aesthetic stuff, like a ducktail on the back, a little lip if you want to call it that. I've done a blow-off valve spacer, or sorry, diverter valve spacer, which gives you the kind of blow-off valve sound. And yeah, I've done quite a bit to the car. Now it sounds really great. So what I've done is actually done a resonator delete, and it has a little bit of burble from factory. I haven't added any burble tune or anything like that, so I'll show you what it sounds like. For a little 4-cylinder, it's pretty good. So yeah, the mic might not pick up all the little pops and stuff, but they are there on Sport Plus mode, which is what I'm in right now. And yeah, it has had its fair share of problems. So the first problem it had is the engine went. So after 3 or 4 months of owning the car, so I was 3 or 4 months in, one day I just got a check engine light, and what I did is I took it in. I thought it was a spark plug or a coil pack. It turned out not to be a spark plug or the coil pack, and it was also throwing a code for a really common issue, which is the EGR valve on this car. So this motor has a big issue. Like, it's just a common thing where there's a EGR valve problem where the valve just won't close or open properly, and you just gotta get that replaced. So I replaced that after a spark plug and a coil pack, and I was still getting a misfire code after that for cylinder number 1, and it had fresh coils, fresh spark plugs, so I didn't know what it was exactly. So we did a compression test, and it was actually low compression in cylinder number 1. So that led to the engine blowing not too long down the road, because I did try having it rebuilt. I guess it didn't rebuild it quite right, and they replaced the head, but it just wasn't enough, and the engine just ended up going. I put in a new engine from a 2016 model, and it's been great ever since. Transmission, knock on wood, hasn't given me any problems. This car was really my dream car at the time when I bought it, because it had the exact spec I wanted. It was the gray on the outside with the ashwood trim on the inside and the black leather. Going back now, if I could really change my choice, I would definitely opt for a C43. C43 is definitely the way to go with these C classes, or the C63 obviously, but if you're going year-round like I am, you need the 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive here in Canada. And yeah, the C43 is definitely a way better choice, way more fun, and honestly it's more reliable, right? Because it's a very tested engine, and it's very powerful and easy with mods as well. So definitely a better choice in my opinion for those of you looking to get into the C-Class in Canada. If you're somewhere where you only need one car and you can get away with having a rear-wheel drive car, definitely go for the C63. But yeah, I really regret not just waiting a little bit more, and like waiting a few months more and getting a C43. But I've had this car for 2 years now, and I've grown accustomed to it, and I really don't want to get rid of it at this point because I'm just so used to it, and it's a good daily, and I'm just thinking of getting a separate car for high power and high performance and all that kind of stuff. So let's get to the outside in a second, and I'll show you exactly what's wrong with the car now. I just told you about the engine. The engine's fixed now. The total cost for the engine rebuild was about $8,000 Canadian, so I'm not sure exactly what that converts to in US dollars. Let's say 663 US. But yeah, it was $8,000 Canadian, and it really it really was not what I was expecting, right? Because I only paid like 20 something for the car, and I thought engines for this thing would be cheap, right? Just a 2-liter turbo, like a comparable car, GTIs, you can find motors for like 3 grand, 4 grand over here. And yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be a 6 grand motor. So it was 6 grand for the motor, and then 2 grand in labor, and then actually it was 9 grand actually, because I did rebuild it once. I didn't pay twice for labor because the motor ended up blowing, and it was the same mechanic, so he just replaced the engine. But yeah, so I paid another $1,000 in parts for all the new pistons and stuff when I rebuilt it the first time. But yeah, let's hop outside and we'll take a look at the current issues the car has. Not many and all aesthetic, but it does have some current issues, and that's due to the quality. So these cars, the W205, they did not do well when it came to the quality, in my opinion. They really missed the mark in terms of what Mercedes used to be. It's got a few aesthetic issues, and it's all avoidable stuff if they just paid a little bit more attention during the production phase and during the when they were picking their materials, right? So both these issues are a result of just poor choice of material and kind of poor choice of overall construction. So let's get to it and I'll show you the outside. All right, so let's take a look at the issues on the car. First one is the clear coat. Clear coat's all messed up. Now, this is probably going to cost around $800 to $600, $800 to fix. Probably needs to be repainted and re-clear coated. What I didn't know when I first bought the car is that this is actually not glass. So I thought this was a piece of glass as well, but it's actually just a panel to imitate the look of a glass. So what they did is they put black paint and clear coat over it, and it looks like it's glass just like the panel. But this has to be fixed for sure. And then over here on the inside, the leather's ripping apart. So a really common issue on the W205s. As you can see, you've got some tearing over here. Both the seats are in the front are split by the seams. It started here, now it's spreading to here already. And this, I already got it quoted. It's going to cost $900 to fix both front seats. And what they do is they upgrade them with a leather that's much more durable, so you won't have this issue anytime soon. But the thing is, from factory, this shouldn't be an issue. Like these seats at 115,000 should be splitting like this. A little bit of wear and tear and like a little bit of typical like cracking along the edges over here would be normal. Like this kind of stuff over here, that's normal. This is not normal. But yeah, the seats in the back are fine, obviously, because they don't get much use time. And other than that, the car's pretty good. That's the AMG diffuser. And I got the lip on there as well, so the lip spoiler. Car's lowered on springs, and it's about 2 inches lower than stock, and I think this is good. Really OEM look, sporty. It's got everything you really need. Hey guys, now we're in the interior, so we could take a look from a driver's perspective of how things are going on inside here. So everything's pretty good. We got some typical kind of wear on the steering wheel. That's normal. I got like really like sweaty hands, so I wear down steering wheels pretty quick. This one's actually held up okay. I might just change this one out for an aftermarket one, like an OEM style aftermarket, something like more from like an AMG line or something. So that's definitely one of the upgrades I'm looking forward to. Over here, as you can see, this has been wrapped from factory in this aluminum foil, the like type of material, so it gives it an aluminum look, like a brushed aluminum. And this has started to peel. So this is starting to peel over here now, and it's kind of exposing the material underneath, which is like plastic. This is also a common issue on the W205s. This kind of stuff just shouldn't be happening at these kind of kilometers, especially because I'm not being rough with the material. I'm not doing anything crazy with it. Like, these are the seats again, just so you can take a better look. You like that. This isn't a 2015 car, right? A 2015 car shouldn't be doing these kind of things, and it's getting really annoying over here with these kind of issues. Like, these are things I shouldn't be dealing with. But yeah, other than that, the interior is good. Command system works great. All the power folding accessories like the mirrors, the steering wheel, all of that kind of stuff works great. None of the motors have failed. The panoramic sunroof works perfectly. I'm overall happy with the car, minus all the little nuisances that's kind of given me over the past 2 years. But besides that, car is great. I do like it. And yeah, that's the interior. All right, so now that we've taken a look at the issues on the outside of the car and the inside of the car, You can see that these cars really do have a quality control issue recently, and it's not just Mercedes, it's all these manufacturers. They're all just trying to chase this these big low cost, big volume type of models, and they've kind of given up on quality, and the quality that we kind of expect from these cars is just not there anymore. So that's really what's going on, right? And they're just trying to shove so much technology into it that to cut down on costs elsewhere, they choose cheaper like leathers, cheaper materials in general, and it creates a lower quality car overall. But other than that, I've been really happy with this car. It's a great daily. I plan on keeping it for my daily. If you're getting a C300, I really recommend you get a 2016 and above model, because that model doesn't have the wrist pin issue. So the wrist pin issue is the common issue on these cars that causes the whole engine to blow up and the whole low compression in the cylinder number one. Essentially, from what I understand, is that the wrist pin just comes loose and everything just goes bad on the engine. So there's a lot of information on the wrist pin problem out there. See, when I bought the car, these were just getting to those kind of kilometers, right? So 100,000 kilometers is when the wrist pin issue really shows itself, and at that point these cars were just reaching those kind of kilometers, so there wasn't too much on it out there, hence why I didn't know about it. But these days there's so much information, and it's apparently just the 2015 models that have this issue. So 2016 and above, you're okay. So if you're getting a C300, get a 2016 and above. Overall, do I wish I got a C43? Yes, I do. If you have the money for it, go get a C43. Much better car, much faster, and just overall just way better. You're going to enjoy it a lot more, and it's going to give you a lot more fun.